Welcome back everyone, I'm Plays Games, and as you can see, this is SnowRunner. This is a new game to the channel, and this is a game about delivering cargo using off-road trucks. It's a lot more interesting than it sounds, trust me on this. This game came out about 5 years ago and it's been very successful. There's been a slew of DLCs come out. I'm not sure how many episodes of this we're going to get on the channel, and I'll explain why when we get in. So let's just press enter and get in. Now, SnowRunner is known as the Dark Souls of driving games, but I'm going to let you into a bit of a secret. SnowRunner isn't really a driving game. It's not a truck simulator. What it is a decision-making, planning, problem-solving strategy game which just happens to feature off-road truck driving as a primary game mechanic. It's a very nitpicky distinction, but I think it's an important one. Right, first thing we're going to do before we do anything else, we're going to go into settings. I know, boring. I'm going to go to game, and we're going to make sure steering mode is set on steering wheel. This means when you release the steering buttons, your wheels will automatically recenter themselves. This makes driving so much easier. You can change between gallons and litres. I'm going to be using litres. One other thing you definitely do want to do, go to video and turn motion blur off. You will be swinging the camera around all the time in SnowRunner. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. So turn motion blur off. Right, let's go to new game. You can do new game plus. This lets you change the way that the game behaves. If you're a masochist and you believe that you should be punished, use hard mode. We're just going to be doing new campaign, play it on normal. And welcome to Black River, Michigan, the first map of the first region of the base game. In the base game there are 3 regions of 4 maps each, giving you 12 maps total, and to complete each of these once, it will probably take you between 250 and 300 hours in your first playthrough. Yeah, now you can kind of understand why I'm not sure how many episodes we're going to get of this game on the channel, because that's going to be 300 episodes at an hour each just to do the base game. And that's not counting the 16, at time of recording, 16 DLC regions. There's another 4 regions coming next year, and to complete each of the 16 is probably going to take you another 1,000 hours, so that's what, 1,300 hours to complete the full game? I'm not sure if I'm going to have 1,300 episodes of this game at an hour each on the channel, so we'll do one today just to get you started, and then we'll see where we go after that. Now, this splash screen is a tutorial screen. We are going to be running through the tutorial. It's actually quite slick and pretty good, and I'll give you additional information as we go. Thank you for joining our recovery and maintenance effort after the devastating flood in the area. We need all help available to repair the bridge that collapsed. It's our only link to the other side of the river. That's not quite true, but we'll get to that. First of all, we need to find the watchtower to get a view of the surroundings, then we need to find a truck capable of transporting materials, and then we need to reach the garage. Right, there we are. We have information at the top. Spacebar is your handbrake, and W starts the engine. This is our first little truck. This is our little dude. This little truck is just a little car, really. Let's have a look at the UI. On the bottom left, this is your fuel. This is how much you're burning per minute. And on very bottom left are the damage indicators: tyres, fuel tank, engine, gearbox, suspension. On the right hand side we see you have handbrake, and we can turn our all-wheel drive on or off. And this is the gearbox. You hold down the left shift button and then you either use your mouse to move it, or easier, use your arrow keys. Neutral is neutral, reverse is reverse, automatic is automatic, and low gear gives you slightly more power but you move very slowly. And over here is our functions. This will do things like recover you back to the garage if you've opened the garage, and do lots of other things. Different trucks will have different abilities, and this is where you find them. Now when you open the options menu, you see the name of your truck and its base stats. So it's got good fuel consumption because it's S. Durability is crap, power to weight's crap, of course it is, it's a car. And when you're in functions menu, you also actually see the damage. And when you press X, you actually see the damage on the truck itself. What it wants us to do is to find the watchtower. Your current task is highlighted on the top right, so it wanted us to open a map, so press M to open a map. Okay, your tracked objective will always show here. Let's go find that watchtower. There is a fog of war in this game, as we see. And when you get to these watchtowers, they will reveal everything which is under the black area. The stuff in the grey is not revealed by watchtowers, and sometimes the game will hide things. Right? There could be something nice here, like an upgrade or a lost truck. If you find trucks on the map, you get them. At time of recording, there are about 75 trucks in the game, which you can just find in the wild, or have given to you as rewards for completing tasks. In the whole game, there's well over 100 trucks, and counting. Each DLC seems to add more and more trucks, so yeah, there are a lot of things to do. Now this map screen will also give you all your tasks. There are 3 types of job. There are tasks, which are local tasks you find on the map and activate. Also on the local map will be contests are timed. I don't usually do contests because I don't like doing timed tasks in a game like this. And I don't like contests because they're infinitely repeatable, which means you get infinite money and experience. Because when you complete a task, you get money and experience. And the main ones are the contracts. This is the real reason we've been sent to this region. At the minute, we only have one, and it is get to this watchtower. The rewards will be 250 money and 100 experience. We'll speak about experience when we get into the garage. Just press escape to get out of all of this. Right, press the accelerator, which is W, turn the engine on. Take the handbrake off, and away we go, very slowly. Now, this game is open world. You can go anywhere you want. If you want to drive through the forest, you can drive through the forest. If you think you can ford a river, you can ford a river. If you think you can drive up stones or a hill, you do that. So I'm not going to drive through this mud. Look at it, it looks disgusting. I'm just going to stick to the dry stuff on the left hand side. So here we go. Now it's telling us to move into low gear because it's a little bit muddy. I'm also going to turn my all-wheel drive on. Press E and you'll see the all-wheel drive icon on the right hand side lit up. And I didn't even bother with low gear because I was on the relatively dry stuff. Now when you have all-wheel drive active, you burn more fuel. Yep, I appear to be stuck in the mud already. This is why it's known as the Dark Souls of driving games, because this is the very first thing you do in the game and it's pretty tough. So I'm just going to avoid the muddy road. You can tell what mud is because it looks wet and it looks darker. You'll be needing to swing your camera around to watch what all your wheels are doing and to have a look at the camber of the road. Again, I'm not going to drive through the mud, I'm just going to drive through the dry scrub on the left hand side. Ah, we've hit some asphalt, so we're not going to need all-wheel drive anymore, just turn that off. You can of course upgrade your trucks, which is nice, that's what the garage is for. And many upgrades are hidden behind experience, so there are 30 ranks in the game. By the time you finish the second region of the base game, you will be rank 30 if you've done every task and every contract. So it doesn't take long to level up, it's just to make the start of the game a little bit more challenging. Right, this right here, this is the first time the game lies to you, and this tutorial basically teaches you to ignore things like road signs which are telling you to detour because there's water over the road, and trust the evidence of your eyes. Okay, now when we look over there to the left, you can see there's a big pool of water there and it looks really muddy to get there. So I'm just going to nudge through these barriers slowly because they will cause damage if we ram into them. I'm going to come up to this obstacle, I'm going to stop, I'm just going to have a look. This looks fine, it's a little bit deep for this truck, but we made it through just fine. So when it said road closed, water over road, that wasn't a big issue. Right, I'm going to reverse and actually go the way that the road signs are telling us to do. The dangerous water level, because we were drowning the engine. If you stay in dangerous water level too long, your engine will take damage and eventually it will break, and that's bad times for you. Okay, let's actually do this horrible mud pit. It looks like on the right hand side there's a little bit of dry, slightly drier grass, so we'll go over here. Okay, we've avoided that little mud pit. And the game wants you to come up here and get stuck. I mean, there's more water up here. It's not quite as deep as the stuff that was over the road, but all this mud's a little bit horrible. This is where it's supposed to teach you about the winch. Okay, just press V to open the options. These white dots on the car are attachment points for our winch. When you get stuck in the mud, you can winch yourself out. Things you can winch to are trees and telegraph poles and lamp posts and things. Mouse over these dots and it will show you the range. Hold down left click and this is the line of our winch, and the white dots are things we can winch onto. So I'll just back up a little bit and I'll show you how the winch works. Hold down left click, attach ourselves to this big tree, close the options menu, and then we have two more options here: pull winch, release winch. I'm not even accelerating, so if you get stuck, the winch can winch you out, especially if you accelerate it the same way. I'll just press R, release the winch, and get back on the road. So that is how the winch works. The winch will not work if your truck's engine is not on, and if your truck flips over, the engine turns off. Right, first fuel bay. Now, these yellow hatchings on the ground indicate something you can interact with. In this case it's a fuel station. Come within, press C to get the options, and either hold F for a full refuel or just tap F for a little bit at a time. There we go. Easy. Fuel up at every opportunity. You will notice I only actually needed 3 litres of fuel then, but you never know where the next fuel stop is going to be, and you never know how far you're going to have to go. So always fuel up as often as you can. Now it looks like we've come past where we wanted to be. Okay, looks like we can go up this little road to get to this watchtower. So we'll turn right. And we'll actually go off-road in the off-road truck driving game. Now again, I'm not going to drive right through the mud. I'm going to take a little detour through this dry, scrubby stuff. Because as I said, it's open world, the roads are just suggestions. Oh. Now this looks a little bit nasty. It's a little bit lumpy and bumpy, and you can see some dark mud, so let's just avoid the big deep mud pit. Try not to flip over, because if we flip over the game will be soft locked. Just avoiding this horrible camber here, because if you try and drive straight up that you'll probably tip over. Let's drive through these trees. And then we'll come straight down the hill. The blue hatchings on the ground is either a watchtower or it's a task, because some tasks just want you to hit checkpoints. So we'll just enter the... and there we go. Get a nice little stinger. In fact, we'll do the observation because it looks nice. Right, that little animation. I'm going to turn the engine off just to save fuel. Open the map, and there we are. This watchtower has now revealed all of this. Okay, there's an upgrade here. As I said, upgrades are locked behind the level system, the ranking system, but other upgrades can only be unlocked once you find them in the wild, like this one. So we should probably come up here and grab this at some point. And when you click on things, they will give you information. Apparently, this is a storage zone, the lumber mill, and it supplies wooden planks which have a cargo unit of 1. So these take up 1 cargo space. Looks like there's a trailer here. Why is it not letting me click on it? Sideboard trailer, and apparently this already has a load of 2 which looks like wooden planks. Yes indeed. Okay, so there's a trailer there with 2 wooden planks on it. There's a town storage up here which supplies metal beams which take up 2 cargo space each, and there's a sideboard trailer there with 1 Lego brick, don't know what that is, could be bricks, and 1 wrench icon. And there's a flatbed semi-trailer with 1 brick, 3 wrenches and 1 spare wheel looking thing. And most importantly for us, there is a truck here. And that's our first cargo truck. Because when we look at the contracts, we have a new contract. Again, all we have to do is to drive just round the corner and find the truck. We'll get 200 experience and 650 money. As the tutorial says, you can plot routes. You just right click where you want to go, and then you hold right click on the line and you can drag it around. That's one way of doing that to plan your route. Hold down middle mouse button to get rid of it, or you can just right click in sequence and draw your route manually. Right, engine back on, handbrake off. Let's go and find our first big truck. I say big truck, it's a normal size truck. All-wheel drive on, I think. When you get to within about 18 or 19 yards or meters or whatever the measurement system in this game is, you will notice that the blue markers disappear. So you don't have to drive right over the top of them. Go slowly. Have a look at what you're doing before you do it. Don't just hold down the accelerator in this game, because you will become a cropper. Right, I don't really want to drive through that big mud pit at the bottom. So I'm going to turn left and go through this dry, scrubby stuff here. Because look how deep that looks. It looks deep and it looks wet, and I don't want anything to do with it. So I'm just going to drive around it, because this is open world and the roads are just suggestions. Nearly there, it's not too far away, it's just up here. And here is our first truck. Again, just drive around the mud, don't drive through the mud, be clever. That's a bit more like it, isn't it? Alright, here we are. So I'm going to turn my engine off, because I don't want to leave it running, because we're going to be leaving this truck. Open the functions menu and click change truck, or you can change truck from the map. Just click on it and then press enter, or find it on this list and press enter. And the good thing about this is that if we had left our little scout truck all the way down here, we can still jump into this truck from down there. Like a little dude just runs up the road or something, I don't know. As I said, this is not a driving simulator. This is a video game. People get confused about this and they get very, very upset. Anyway, let's get into this new truck. Alright, we have a truck. Now you will notice on the right hand side the all-wheel drive icon is missing, because this truck does not have all-wheel drive. This is a bit of a pain in the ass, but it does have a much larger fuel capacity. But being a big truck with a big truck engine, it will probably burn through the fuel pretty quick. So let's have a look what our new task is. Okay, this is telling us we have a new contract available. Click on the all bridge construction. What we need to do, we need to take 1 unit of metal beams to the bridge, and then after that 2 units of wooden planks. Now you can deliver them both at the same time, so that's probably what we're going to be doing. And the good thing is, when you click on wooden planks, it will snap you to where you can get them from. Metal beams. Okay, looks like we need to go into town, pick up a metal beams from the town storage, and then we're going to get this trailer which has 2 wooden planks in it, and that's everything we need to build the bridge. So we'll activate it, and there we go. And when it's activated, you will also get this uplift symbol. Now at the minute, because this is a stage, it's not actually showing the uplift symbol on the wooden planks, because this is greyed out, because you're supposed to do the metal beams first and then the wooden planks. But we were going to do them both at the same time. Because we've identified things before, we know that we can come down here and get that trailer. Right, so I think the way we're going to do this, we're just going to go into town first, to this, and then we'll come back this way and grab the trailer. No, let's not do that. Let's be smart. Let's come down here into the lumber mill, get this trailer, and then we'll go into town, get the metal beams, and then we'll come down the main road, refuel first, splash over the ford, and fix the bridge. That's the kind of planning in decision making you need to make. Because if we were to go into town and then come down here and get the trailer, the quick route would be this way. So we'd miss the fuel station, so that's the way we're going to do it. Right, let's go and get this trailer. Start the engine, and away we go. Now, this may be a struggle. This is a big heavy truck, and it might sink into the mud, so I'm just going to drive around the mud. Let's go and get this trailer. Again, I'm just avoiding the muddy bits by driving straight around them. If we can. Stick to the dry parts. Okay, now that trailer looks like a bit of a pain in the ass to get to. Now, we have multiple ways of getting this trailer out of here. We could reverse in and then attach it to this towing hook at the back and then try and drive out, but look at it, it's just deep muddy pit of doom. But what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna be smart. I'm gonna reverse in, but not directly on. I'm gonna come through this fence because some bits of the world are destructible, like fences, so yep, like that. Okay, the way I'm going to get this out, I'm not actually going to reverse in and attach it. I'm actually going to, because I'm quite happy where my wheels are, I'm actually on dry ground. So open the functions menu and just winch it out. Attach the winch, and away we go. You yank it out. Now that the trailer's on dry ground, I'm going to release the winch, reverse by holding down the S key. When we're close enough, open the functions menu, either click on this when you get this little green circle when we mouse over the hitch is the range you have to be to attach it, or you can click attach trailer. There we go, it's now on board. Let's go. Braking is just holding down the S key, and when you're in automatic, once you've come to a halt, if you keep holding down S, then you'll go into reverse. You can turn that off in options, so S is just braking, and if you want to go in reverse, you have to manually go into reverse gear. I just keep it on normal automatic. So let's get into town and get these metal beams. This looks a little bit muddy. And our engine's struggling because they've got really crappy tyres. We're dragging a big weight behind us. It's not happy, so let's hold shift, use the left arrow key, go into low gear. And the game's saying if that's still not enough, you can winch to that telegraph pole, which I'm going to do anyway. There we go. And hold down the accelerator and pull the winch at the same time and get a double power. Get yourself moving. And then put the handbrake on. Get the winch out again. Dang it, we're not quite close enough to winch to these trees. Now the good thing about when you have trailers attached, trailers also have their own winching points, but do be careful because you might flip the trailer over. Just keep an eye on what your trailer's doing. Okay, I think we're good. Can we go back to automatic yet? There we go, give ourselves a little bit more power. Dark Souls of driving games, everyone. One other thing the camera can do, the number 1 button is your camera, so at the minute it's centered on the truck. When you're pulling a trailer, press 1 and it zooms it back to the trailer. Press it again and you get the internal cabin view. Some people like driving in first person view. I do not. So we'll just go back to the default view. And we'll carry on slogging away up this hill. I'm kind of swimming. I'm steering hard left and then hard right, just to stop the tyres getting stuck in a groove. That's another little tip. There'll be lots of these little tips. I have played this game for many thousands of hours. Alright, we made it onto the asphalt. We're in town. Let's go and get these metal beams. Oh, looks like some roadworks on the left hand side. Let's not crash into the roadworks. And just here on the right hand side, it's a bit of a tight squeeze, but here is the town warehouse. Breathe in, everyone. Here we go. Lovely. And again, there's another interaction zone. Now this red hatching on the left hand side is the manual loading dock. When you're playing in hardcore mode, you cannot automatically load cargo. You have to put it on these and then use a crane to get it on board. Don't do that to yourself, man. Life's too short. So we'll open cargo. Here we go. You can choose where it goes, like the truck or the trailer. We can't put it on the trailer because there's already two things on the trailer. Or we can put it on the floor, which is the loading platform. Nah, I want it on my truck, so load it. Okay, we now have everything we need. So let's go. We're going to turn left, and we're going to get close enough to this trailer to discover it. There we go. 30 more XP. Every little helps. I'll check for the fire hydrant. Try not to crash into anything on town. It's getting towards the afternoon / dusk, so we can turn our headlights on with the L button. They're not very good on some trucks, but every little helps. Let's turn right and go and get some fuel. I'm just going to take my hands off the accelerator for a while, just so we don't turn sharply when we're accelerating and flip the truck over. Let me just fuel up, and on we go. Just splash away through this ford. Easy. Slow down and slowly nudge the barriers out of the way. Out of my way. Thank you. Now it's becoming difficult to see, so what we can do, if you go into map and press T, it will skip the time. As we see in the top, it is afternoon, so we'll just press T and we'll skip round to like 1 o'clock tomorrow. There we go. You can do that at any time. Nothing is timed. Like, you don't have to deliver any certain cargo within a certain number of days or hours. The game doesn't work like that, so anytime it's too dark to see, feel free to do that. You cannot do that in hard mode. Again, don't do that to yourself. Treat yourself with a bit of respect and do not play SnowRunner on hard mode. Okay, here we go. A lack of a bridge. Interaction hatching on the ground. Drive into it and you get the interaction menu at the bottom, cargo management. And we need to deliver one metal beam, so tap F and deliver it. Bam. That's the metal part of the bridge built. Now, what we have to do is to go away and find two wooden planks, but guess what? I have them on the back of my truck, so let's deliver those now. Right, so let's do the 2 wooden planks. And there we go. Not only have we built the bridge so we can get over the river, we got enough experience from doing that to rank up to level 2. So we got 2100 money and 350 XP. Next operation. Let's have a look. Get to the garage. It's automatically turned itself on. Looks like we've got a bit of a drive ahead of us. So when we get to the garage, we'll talk about upgrades. So let's just go. Over the bridge which we just built. It is almost satisfying to build bridges and open warehouses and things in this game. Because sometimes you'll need a resource but you won't know where to find it, and it turns out if you do a different task or a different contract, it will open that warehouse. So always read all the tasks. Like, accept as many tasks and contracts as you can, as soon as you can, and then read through them carefully and decide carefully which ones you're going to do in which order. Because sometimes, if you don't do that, you can find yourself driving a long way to pick up something like the metal beams from the town storage, and it may turn out there's another source of them somewhere else. Right, we're just digging ourselves into a hole here, so we're just going to winch ourselves out into that tree. Thank you, Mr. Tree, and then release the winch. There was no nice dry area for us to drive on. This looks a little bit drier than the stuff on the left hand side, but we'll just do the steer left and right method to stop our rear wheels getting stuck in the rut. Come on. Now when you see your wheels spinning like that and throwing things up over the top of your wheels, it usually means you're in too high a gear. So I really should have moved down to low gear there, but I could see there was asphalt just here, so happy days. Alright. We made it through that little bit. Hey, that looks like a little truck in the middle of that wet field, so let's not do that. There's a trailer with goods on it there. You do keep your eyes open all the time, because as I said, the Watchtowers do not reveal everything. And there's another trailer hiding back there. That's a fuel trailer. So we can refuel from that. Trailers you find in the wild, like the one I'm pulling behind me, can be sold for money. So that's what we're going to be doing. That's another way to get money at the start of the game. You don't have to rely on the trucks you find in the wild or the ones you get handed to you as rewards for completing missions. You can buy them with the money that you earn in the game. And several other trucks are only available as cash DLCs. I'll talk about those when we get to the garage, which is not too far away. Okay, this looks a little bit horrible. So I'm just avoiding the mud as much as I can. Avoiding these big rocks as much as I can. Okay, looks like a little bit of a watery grave here. I'm not seeing any way around it. Maybe if I'd gone off the road and just behind these trees. It looks like there might have been a sneaky way there, but I know this puddle is not that deep. Now one thing you can do, so you can't really tell how deep the water is, but if you move your camera up, it can sometimes give you a better view of what's under the water. So this was not that deep. We got through it, no trouble at all. And just in front of us is the garage. That was easy. Very easy. All we have to do is get into the blue hatching. Bam. Now you will see we have an option to move to garage, but it will say, no, you can't. You have a trailer attached. Detach the trailer. So we're going to get rid of this trailer. And we could just detach it and leave it here. But what I'm going to do, I'm just driving around that truck at the moment. We're going to come over here where there's another yellow hatching. And this yellow hatching is a trailer store. Here we can buy and sell trailers. So press C to open the trailer store. This will automatically select the trailer you have attached. So we'll just sell it and away it goes. And these are all the various trailers which you can buy. They all need different attachments, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. So as you'll see, this one will not fit. We need a saddle low. This one will not fit. We need a saddle low. This one needs saddle low. This one needs the log carrier front. This one needs saddle high. This one is our standard. This will let us have it. This one needs saddle high. See, they all need different attachments, but it doesn't actually tell you. You need to just click on them and see which one they are. It's like there's more trailers here. Let's just have a look at these. We'll just get close enough to activate them. New trailer discovered. Service trailer. And the flatbed, there we go. Yep. And this one at the end will not give us any experience, because this is a mission trailer. There will be a task to deliver that somewhere. But we can get rid of this service trailer straight away, so we'll just reverse, hook up, attach trailer, there you go. And now when we press options, we have this repair option, because we have repair points in this service trailer. We don't have any damage on our truck because I'm a really good driver. So this service trailer has 1500 repair points and 8 spare wheels. At the minute, we don't need any repairs. But as I said, different attachments and different trucks will have different abilities, and different trailers will give you different abilities. So I'm just going to drive this right here and sell it, because it's worth 6,400 money. And we only have 7,000, so now we've got 13,000 money. Right, to get into the garage, we can either drive into that yellow hatching there and press C and go to garage, or we can open options and click recover, and this will teleport us to the garage. And when you teleport into the garage, your truck is fully repaired and fully refueled, and you can do this from anywhere on the map, and I'll show you that right now. We just turn the engine off, select a little scout car, enter it, and we'll just recover it to the garage. There we go. Welcome to the garage. Customize. This is how we upgrade our vehicles. At the minute, this is the engine we have, and as we see, these are locked. Now these are not saying reach rank something to unlock. We have to actually go and find these, so we have to explore Michigan, which is the region we're in. So this is good. Looks like we can find all the engines somewhere on the map in this region. How about gearbox? Explore Wisconsin. Well, we won't be getting that because we're in Michigan. So we can get these gearboxes here. Gearboxes give you different numbers of gears, and like the SnowRunner one will give you 3 low gears. Freeway will give you a high gear. High gear effectively locks you into your second top gear, and if you let the revs drop, it stalls the engine. It's good for long stretches of highway, not that there's very many of those in this game. Suspension can be good. Raising suspension gives you more ground clearance, and sometimes it lets you fit larger wheels, which is great. Larger wheels are better for a myriad of reasons. You can get through deeper mud, you can climb over bigger rocks, and lots of other reasons on top of that. Right, tyres in this game are vitally important. They all have different stats. Now, you will notice it says wheel performance, on-road excellent, off-road average, mud poor. And this is also excellent, average, poor. And this is also excellent, average, poor. So why do they cost different money? Why do they look different? Is this just cosmetic? No, they do actually have proper statistics, but the game hides them from you for some stupid reason. All-terrain, on-road average, off-road good, mud average. Okay, these look like much better wheels for the kind of off-road truck driving we're going to be doing. So average, good, average, 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 good, good, average, average. But what does that mean? I'll show you what that means in a minute. Okay, this is the best thing about scout cars. They can have an autonomous winch, which will let you winch yourself even if you're upside down and your engine is off. So you can maybe, possibly, flip yourself back over by judicious and excellent use of the winch. We do only have 13,000 money. I'm not sure if I'm going to spend 9,000 of that on an auto winch. Differentials. These effectively make all your wheels turn at the same rate. That's effectively what they do. I know that truck nerds and automobile nerds will be raging at me in the comments, but you know what? I don't care. This is a video game, not a truck simulator. That's effectively what it does in this game. So at the minute, we can't have locked diffs. Again, if we explore the map or the 4 maps in this region, we'll find that upgrade somewhere. Snorkels will let you ford deeper rivers, but that's going to be fine. And frame add-ons. This is how you change the functionality of the truck. And this will give us repair parts, spare wheels, and some extra jerry cans of fuel so we can refuel ourselves without needing a fuel station. But unfortunately, this upgrade will unlock at rank 14, so we're going to have to rank up all the way. This one unlocks at rank 5, this one's rank 3, and it tells you how much experience you need to unlock it. So if we said we really wanted the small roof rack, we'd need to look for contracts which had 2,980 experience in total. So at the minute, we're not going to upgrade that truck. Right, there are 6 truck slots. These are effectively infinite. So what you can do, you can just store a truck, send it to storage, and then recall it from storage at any times, and your storage is infinite. So these slots are actually meaningless. Right, these are all the trucks we have in storage. You may say, why have we got all these trucks? This is the one we started the game with. All these ones were given to me for free as part of the DLCs. Now, there are year passes you can buy in this game. Each year pass will give you 4 regions and sometimes a couple of trucks as well. I'm not going to be using any of these DLC trucks. Most of them are terrible. Some of them are a little bit overpowered. The Bandit's pretty overpowered at this stage of the game. Same with this Tatra and the Marshall. The other ones are a little bit crap, to be honest. I'm not going to be using them. But the good thing is that the game does actually give you the purple DLC hatch marking to differentiate them. So I'm not going to be using them, and neither am I going to sell them, because I could sell that for 202,000 money, and I'm not going to do that because that's a little bit too much like cheating. One other thing you can do, you can go to the truck store and buy a truck. Some trucks are locked behind ranks, like you can't buy this truck until you've hit such and such a rank. Other ones you have to find in the wild. So if we just click something like Offroad, we could buy this truck straight away. If we had 75,000, we could buy this truck straight away. Now this is an Eastern European truck, an Azov from Ukraine, and this is an ANK Civilian from America. Now there used to be a region lock on trucks, like you could not buy Ukrainian, Eastern European and Russian trucks in America and Europe, and you could not buy American and European trucks in Eastern Europe or Russia. This was a little bit silly, because if we go to the global map, which is G, you can just go to any region in the game you want at any time, because this is open world, non-linear. I have all the DLCs, so I have 19 regions to choose from. So what I could do, I could easily just go to Taymyr in Russia. The garage is already opened. Teleport there, buy a Russian truck, store it, come back here and take it out of storage. So that meant that the region lock was basically stupid and useless anyway. So they've removed it now. Some players still like to have their own rules. I think you can turn it back on in New Game Plus, but I'm not sure why you would. So we can buy all these trucks if we had enough money. Again, we'll just go to the off-road ones. You know, we have to explore the world to unlock these trucks, and we need to reach this rank to unlock this truck and have enough money to buy it. There are many categories of trucks. There are highway, which are universally terrible, mainly because they don't have all-wheel drive, and even the ones which can have all-wheel drive are pretty awful as well. They kind of lack good tyre options, and their ride height tends to be really low because they're designed for highway. Heavy duty are a little bit better than highway, but not by much. Some of them are pretty good though. Heavy are your big ass heavy haulers for serious work, for hauling massive cargoes. Off-road, these are like the best trucks in the game, basically. These are your jack of all trades, can do anything, go anywhere, really nice ride height, really good tyres, really good options. And scouts are your little scout cars for just scouting and finding things. Because some trailers are only available for scouts and some are only available for bigger trucks. Speaking of bigger trucks, let's open the map. Okay, apparently it wants us to go to Alaska. Right, fine, whatever. So we can just enter the Alaskan garage like this. Get our little Chevy out of storage. Click deploy. It has now been deployed. Okay, this is actual snow in SnowRunner because we're now in Alaska, because the tutorial for some reason makes you come to Alaska, where it's really slippery underfoot. As you can see, there's black ice all over the road. That's why the road is shiny, and it's a real pain in the ass to operate here. So I'm just going to recover back to the garage, and we're going to go back to Michigan. Now, you could go to Alaska straight away if you wanted. In fact, theoretically, you could go to every map in every region and unlock all 70 free trucks if you want. Theoretically, you could do that, but without upgrades on this little scout car, I'm not sure how easy you'd find it. So I would say don't go to Alaska until you're at least rank 10, so you can get the chain tyres, which will help you on ice. So at the minute, here we go. Okay, wow, lots of things have appeared. We'll talk about them in a moment. And we want to get back on our GMC, so we'll select it. And up ahead is another truck and a little upgrade thing. So let's get close enough to the truck to activate it. New truck discovered. Okay, we've just been given a Fleetstar. Well done me, got a new truck. And we've got close enough that this tells us it's an upgrade. This tiny little hatching here. Drive up to it, get the upgrade. And apparently it's an engageable all-wheel drive upgrade for some truck. Press X and it will show you the list of trucks. Oh look, it's the truck that's literally right next to it, the one we just found. Alright, so apparently the truck we just found can have all-wheel drive. Let's turn the engine off on this. And we'll change truck, get into our new truck. Oh dear, it seems to be completely broken. Like, literally completely broken. The engine is broken. We don't even have... Right, let's have a look at the functions menu and show damage. Okay, literally every single thing on this truck is completely at 0 HP. This is not good. Now, the fuel is in orange because the engine and or the fuel tank have been damaged enough to spring a leak. So yeah, if you damage your engine and fuel tank too much on the road, you'll start losing fuel very quickly, and that can get quite scary. So we can't drive it into the garage, so we're just going to recover it to the garage. Here we go. Easy. And now, if we go to customize, see if there's anything we've unlocked. It's cruddy highway tyres. All-wheel drive. We know we just found the engageable all-wheel drive upgrade. And here it is saying X1, which means we have one of it available because we just found it outside. So we'll just press enter and install that. And now this truck is all-wheel drive, which is magnificent because all-wheel drive is much better than not being all-wheel drive. And now this rear-wheel drive saying X1, what you can actually do, you can sell upgrades you don't want. So we'll just press space, sell it for $1,000. Because why would we ever put rear-wheel drive back on this vehicle? Because all-wheel drive is better. So just sell upgrades you don't need. The game doesn't tell you that, but I just did. Right, as I said, these tyres do actually have all different stats. But the game hides it behind this excellent, average and poor thing. If you look at the winch, it will say extended length. Which length? How long is it? Advanced winch combining both extended length and improved motor. Where do we see the power and the length? Where do we see all this stuff? Well, the game likes to hide it from you, but if we go back to the main menu, I'm going to show you the one and only one mod I use in this game. It is this one. It is Tires and Cargo Mod Plus. So we'll just turn it on and we'll go back to where we were. And now we actually see the stats of the tyres. Now, on the left-hand side, 3.0, this is your asphalt rating. 1.0 in the middle is your dirt rating, and 0.4 on the right is your mud rating. So now we actually see that these tyres do, even though they all say excellent, average, poor, excellent, average, poor, excellent, average, poor, they do actually all have different stats. So at the minute, I would say we want to change over to UHD2, which I think is Universal Highway Double. The naming convention is a bit weird. So we'll just install these and we'll sell the crappy ones. So now we've got 1.2 dirt and 0.2 mud. So we're a little bit worse in mud, but we're better on dirt. Most of the surface in the game is dirt. So, and now when we go to winch, you now see the distance on the winch, 14 meters, and the power of the winch, 100%. So we now know the advance is 18 meters and 130% power. I don't know why the game hides all this stuff from you. It just decides that's what it wanted to do. And here are all the other things that this truck can fit. Log loading crane, flatbeds, a frame for carrying short logs, maintenance frame which has repair parts, spare wheels and a big fuel tank for fixing other trucks, metal detector module for special missions, a little crane. Some of them are free, some of them are not. The saddle high, saddle low are free because then you go outside and buy the trailer that fit onto them. One other thing that mod did, it added these prefixes. So ST, standard hitch, low, low saddle, high, high saddle. So now you can tell at a glance which connection you need for which trailer. And this will work with any trailers on the map. Yeah, like the one we found here. You mouse over it, ST. So now we know that this trailer needs a standard hitch. Again, this is just information. That all that one does is give you the information you need. Like this one here is low saddle. This one here, ST, standard hitch. It just makes it so much easier to play the game. And you will notice that many other things have appeared, like this fallen power line. This is a task. We'll have to drive up there, accept the task. There's another one here, Motel Walls. There's another one here, missing machinery. And this is a contest. We will not be doing that. As we see, it's timed. So if you have to deliver wooden planks from here to various locations. If you do it within 8 minutes, you'll get 3,300 money and 360 XP, and you can do it infinite times. It's too much like cheating, so I don't do contests. And oh sweet lord, okay, we have opened a lot of things. Okay, apparently we need to get all the way up to that factory with a high saddle heavy fuel tanker semi-trailer. All the way up here, and then deliver bricks, which apparently we get from this warehouse, and metal beams, which you get from the town. And that will give us warehouse access. That will open this factory, and this factory will produce things. So as I said, that could be something we might need to do. Looks like there's something here. There's a SC, which means scout. So apparently there's 2 bricks on that scout flatbed there. We might not do that one. As I said, you can do things in any order you want, so we'll just accept as many things as we can. Okay, that trailer, which is right out here, wants to go from here to the farm, which is just down the road. We drove past it, and that will give us 130 experience and some money. Probably do that. Oh god, logging. Logging is like the final boss. Logging stations are always mud pits. They're horrendous. And logs are a pain in the ass. Something else that mod did was actually tell you how many cargo slots things take and the weight of them. So long logs weigh 12 tons each, medium logs are 8 tons each. These drilling spare parts take up 1 slot and they're 1 ton each. Again, we're just going to accept everything. There's no reason not to accept every task, so we'll just accept them all. And then you can work out in which order you want to do things. First thing I'm going to do is to just recover this truck. Right, I want to get a flatbed on this truck because this truck is all-wheel drive, so it's automatically better than the GMC. So go to frame add-ons and we'll get a sideboard bed. And some trucks can have a crane and a sideboard bed. So alrighty then. What do we need for the next set of tyres? All-terrain. Rank 6 to get all-terrain tyres. Okay. Leave garage. I'm going to advance time. And we spawn out the back of the garage. And some trucks, some very special trucks, can have a crane and a sideboard bed and still have enough room at the back to pull a trailer. Like this thing can. So that is a really nice thing. Now unfortunately the distance on the crane won't reach very much past the end of your own sideboard. So if you want to put things on the trailer, detach the trailer and then park next to it and use the crane. I'll show you how to use the crane. Right, first contract I think we're going to do is the farming tools, because it's literally take this thing from here to the farm. Nice and easy. All your trucks will sound different as well. Speaking of sounds, if you press G, you beep your horn. That's really for multiplayer or just for fun. So we're close enough now, we'll just attach this and off we go with our brand new truck. So this is pretty much a gameplay loop. You complete tasks and contracts to earn money and to rank up, to unlock upgrades so you can take on more challenging things. The other thing about not buying Russian trucks in America is that all the upgrades for the Russian trucks are on the Russian maps. So you could buy the Russian trucks, but then you wouldn't be able to upgrade them until you go and look in all the Russian maps. But if you buy the American trucks, as we saw, things like the little scout car we had, all the upgrades are found right here in this region. Right, let's turn the all-wheel drive on and try and get to the farm. See, sometimes what looks like dry stuff on the side of the road actually isn't dry. Okay, I'm not driving through that mud. I'm just gonna enter this hatching. Come on, little truck, you can make it. Now you will see it's not actually giving us the option to deliver this trailer. What we have to do is to actually physically get the trailer within the yellow hatching. And just like so. Okay, let's try and back out of here. Okay, has that unlocked anything else? Yes, it has. So it wants us to deliver even more stuff to there, but I don't really want to do that. What we should really do now is just drive around the map, drive to things like the Fallen Power Line and Motel Wars and activate them and accept the tasks, because as we see, contracts you can accept from here. They just automatically unlock. Tasks, you actually have to go and drive right up to them to get the task. So we'll go to the Fallen Power Line and I'll show you how that works. On the way there, we will take the time to just... Oh, there's a little task here. I didn't see that on the map. Show task. And we'll just accept it. And we'll get close enough to activate this trailer. There we go, just to get the 30 XP. At this stage in the game, every single XP is important and very valuable. Can just drive through here. And there's a trailer here with things on it. Looks like concrete blocks. Yeah, just boop it, just to unlock it, get the XP. And that will also tell us what these things are, which are on the back of that trailer. Yeah, 4 concrete blocks there. And to save fuel, because I'm on asphalt, just turn all-wheel drive off. Stuck in the mud, so turn all-wheel drive on. Just turn left and right until you get out of the ruts. Okay, task. This is a roadblock task. As you can see, there is a electricity pylon right across the road. We're going to have to fix that. And this is where you find the tasks. Fallen Power Line, it wants 1 metal beam and 2 concrete blocks. Well, we've got 1 metal beam and a flatbed trailer here, and there's 4 concrete blocks there, so that'll do us. That'll fix that quite easily. But I'm not going to do that. What we're going to do, we're going to go back to the garage. We're going to strategize. Now, if you go to the truck store, there are a couple of trucks you can buy right at the start of the game which are excellent. One of them is the International Fleetstar 5070. It costs 82,100 truck bucks. It comes with all-wheel drive switchable, diff lock switchable. It comes with fairly decent tyres. It's pretty good. It's very versatile. It can have lots of upgrades. The only annoying thing about it is it can't be upgraded all that far ahead of where it comes from. It only has 1 engine, so you cannot upgrade the engine, which isn't great. So it's quite good in the very early game, and then very quickly it falls away. The other one I would like to buy is this ANK Civilian. Now this comes with amazing tyres. It's hugely powerful. As you see, power to weight S, and the Paystar was only power to weight A. This thing is actually the thing I would like to buy. It's cheaper than the Paystar. It's more powerful. It comes with better tyres. It has a much bigger upgrade path. You can have lots of engines and lots of different tyres on this thing. But the problem is it cannot have very many frame attachments on the back. It can basically have saddle low, saddle high, and a couple of other things, and that's it. But that's okay, because saddle low is fine. This thing is more than powerful enough to pull these low saddle trailers. So our task is going to be get 75 grand and buy one of these things. So the way we can do that, we can store the GMC, and then from storage we can sell it. Just press space and sell it. Now, if we thought that was a mistake, we can go and buy it back. So we'll go to the truck store, go to heavy duty, or is it a highway? It's a highway. Now we sold it for 3,100. We can buy it back for 26,300. We sold it for 3,100 because it had a sideboard bed on the back, and we got the money from that as well. In normal mode, things are bought and sold for the same money. You don't gain money by selling things, you don't lose money by buying them back. It's all exactly the same. So if you sell something, you can just buy it back for exactly the same money. Okay, in our quest to hit 75 grand, we're on 36,100 already. That's nice. Let's upgrade our little scout car and go looking for other things. Let's do these tyres. All-terrain Scout 1. And we'll sell the highway tyres because highway are crap. Okay, we can now go somewhere a little bit deeper. And that's pretty much all we can do with this thing. So, if we can find more big trucks and sell them, they're like the biggest earners. As we see, these contracts, this will give us 3,800. I mean, that's not very much. This will give us 9,600. That's a little bit more, but that's delivering 2 long logs to a different map, so that will take forever. So yeah, we sold a truck for 31,000. So finding trucks is the quickest way of making money. Now I know from experience that there is a truck somewhere on this map around here-ish. It's pretty close to the logging station. So if we can get all the way up there with a little scout car and find that hidden truck, we can recover it to the garage and then sell it. So that is the odyssey we're going to go on now. Now we do have to bear in mind that our little truck is very badly upgraded. It's basically not upgraded at all. So we're going to have to plan a route fairly carefully. But I think we'll be fine. Let's go for it, little truck. Let's go. We may be able to buy a scout trailer if we have enough money. We should have enough money. We just got 31 grand. This little service scout trailer, we'll take that. It's got some repair and some fuel, so we'll just buy one of those and take it with. Okay, this is a bit of a notorious muddy pit, so all-wheel drive on, just drive around the mud. As you can see, the mud is on the right hand side. Let's advance the time so we can see it. Yep, great big mud pit there. Don't drive through mud, drive around it if you can. And always keep an eye out for trees and telegraph poles and things you can winch onto. Because sometimes if there is a big muddy pit but it's got big trees lining it all the way along, then you can just drive straight through it and just winch yourself along. Drive it around the big rocks, because these rocks do move and they will flip you over if you hit them at the wrong angle or hit them too fast. You'll go for a little ride. So we're just going to drive around the big rocks. Again, if we get race suspension and bigger wheels, we could clamber over these rocks or just drive straight over them and they wouldn't stop us. And these trees can be annoying, these fallen trees. You can winch onto them, but if you drive over them, they break, and if you hit them at the wrong angle, they don't break and they instead act like a pole vault and flip you in the air, because this is not a truck simulator. It has not got accurate physics. It's a video game. But if you can drive over trees at the right angle, like if you're in a mud pit and you see some fallen trees, you can drive over the trees and get some traction on the trees, which is nice. Okay, again, I'm just avoiding all the mud by driving on the side of the road because it's an open world game. And it looks like we have another fuel station up ahead, and indeed we do. This is good. And it looks like there's a task here as well. So we'll just top up the fuel. That is the big giant fuel tank that that factory wants. Well, once we get the ANK Civilian, we'll use that to deliver that to the factory. That's the kind of strategizing you need to do in this game. Just turn my all-wheel drive off while I'm on the asphalt. Save a litre of fuel, because you never know when you might need it. All-wheel drive back on once we're on the dirt. You will get to learn every single inch of every single map intimately when you play this game. It's just the way it goes. Because you will be crisscrossing every map with huge amounts of cargo. As I said, it's a very slow game. Okay, hard hat task. That means there's another bridge down. Okay. Okay, we'll just accept the task. Can't see any way over there, so we'll just turn around and find an alternate route. Damn scout trailers are annoying, they're really bouncy. Okay, looks like we can get down here, so I'll be able to drive on because it looks a little bit muddy. Now these reeds indicate marshy area. As you can tell, it looks a little bit wet. So you'll learn the environmental cues very quickly. This scrubby brush is pretty good stuff to drive over. Mud is not. Reeds are not. Okay, we'll just avoid all the mud. Just drive over the dry scrub because it's better grip. Looks like a fuel tanker up here. That's good. Now it did not give us XP because this means it's obviously used for a task. But we can just steal fuel out of it, so I'll do that. Thank you very much. Don't steal too much stuff from mission trailers like that, because otherwise you can't complete the mission until you top it back up. But you can get away with stealing quite a lot of fuel from things. Okay, that was the bridge it was down. I'm trying to get here. Do we think I could maybe drive along the coast? Let's have a look. Okay. That looks like a horrible camber. So I'm just going to drive around it. Okay, I'm seeing yellow hatchings. It's either an upgrade or a task. And it's a task because it's too big to be an upgrade. Looks like another bridge to get repaired. Yes indeed. Well, I was going to try and drive along the coast, but these rocks look way too intimidating, so let's not. Let's just reverse. Now do be careful when you're reversing with a trailer. If you have not flipped your truck over by reversing over your own trailer, you ain't really playing SnowRunner, my friend. Again, it's affecting our turning circle negatively because I can't get round. Sometimes you can use your winch just to pull yourself round. You know, just cut across the mud and get back on the dry stuff because I'm smart. Now these broken down cars sometimes indicate the presence of an upgrade. If they do, they will have the upgrade icon on the roof of the car. This one does not, so it is not an upgrade. But keep your eyes open. If you see a car, a broken down rusty car like that, investigate. It may be an upgrade. Okay, looks like we're very close to my marker. So we'll just go down this little road, which is here. Turn it all-wheel drive on because we're in mud again. Come on, little car, you can make it. Good thing about this car, it's really fuel efficient. And we're carrying some fuel on the trailer as well. Okay, look out for these little bridges. They have no guardrails, so you can and will slide off them if you're not careful. Fall off that bridge, you're going to turn over. Right, this is the logging area. This is where you pick up your medium and long logs. Right, see all these tree stumps here? These are the spawn of Satan himself. You can winch onto them, but they will mash up your truck. They'll pop your tyres, they'll break your undersides. And as I said about every logging area in the game, they're all horrible mud pits, as you can tell. We're not even in the logging area. This is just the outskirts and it's just a horrible mud pit. Okay, reeds and stuff here, not great. But what do we see? Just there in the middle distance, we see a truck. Let's just try and get close enough to activate it. Oh, sweet lord, it's really in the mud, isn't it? I'm going to detach my trailer and just leave it here, so I'm pulling less weight. And instead of driving up to this truck, what I can do, I can just winch myself over there, or try and winch the truck towards me. I'm in reverse. Okay, we got close enough. I'm taking engine damage. No! Oh, balls. I'm going to stall. Yep. And we cannot fix ourselves because we don't have any repair points. We did have on the trailer, but the trailer's over there. We did not put the autonomous winch on. Otherwise, if I had, what I could have done is dragged the trailer here, attached it, and then repaired myself. But what we have got now is another truck which is completely broken, so recovered it. Again, this is like quite a crap truck. It can have all-wheel drive, but the upgrade isn't found until Alaska, so let's store it and sell it. Another 33,000. Alright, we're on 65,000 and we needed 75, so we just need another 10,000. Is there another truck we can find? Yes there is. Where is my little Chevy? Again, we'll just recover this truck to the garage. There we go. I'll pick that trailer up at a later date. Now, another free truck you can get is somewhere up here. But getting there is not a problem. We've been along this road quite a lot of times, and we know that once we get into town it's all asphalt, so just go all the way up here and into town. Right, I'll just do a jump cut and I'll meet you in town. Right, here we are, back in town. And we need to get all the way up to the northwest. Now this little roadblock here, this is actually blocked off until you complete the tutorial, because that's the way the game works. What is this task? Oh, and apparently there's another rock slide up ahead, somewhere in the map. We need to turn left right now and get the all-wheel drive on. This is a little bit horrible. You will notice in the bottom left-hand corner I took like 1 tick of engine damage and a little bit of suspension damage because I was driving pretty recklessly to get into town. Because the video was getting a little bit long and I need to finish it, so I was driving fast. And sometimes the roads are the best option, like that was, because the dry scrub to the left was a little bit too off camber. In situations like this, you really do need to move your camera around a lot just to try and read the lie of the road. Oh, I'm stuck on a big rock. Let's just reverse. Yeah, I'm just moving the camera just so I can see ahead. And this is why you want to have motion blur off. Okay, the road's difficult to see because it's just a little mud trail. Okay, let's stick to the left because that looks like a little bit of a deep mud pit there to the right on that corner, so let's avoid that. Let's just go up this way, avoid that corner, cut the corner entirely, stick to the nice dry scrub. Watch out for the big rock. Be careful going downhill. Taking my finger off the accelerator, just let gravity pull you down the hill. Use your brake as well. Okay, this is the way we need to go. This winds all the way up to the top of that hill because that's where the truck is. Looks like another task here. Yeah, I'll just accept that. Whatevs. Let's go to the right, because that looks like a horrible mud pit to the left. God, even the right isn't very dry. Okay. That looks a bit better. There we go. Lovely. And you very quickly learn what looks doable and what doesn't. Bitter experience will give you harsh lessons if you do not get your eye in. Anything that looks dark or shiny means wet and horrible, so just avoid it. You want to stick to the dry as much as you can. Okay, this is a little bit narrow here, so we just slowed, took our fingers off the accelerator again. If you hold down the accelerator in this game, you're going to have a very bad time. You just want to tickle it. Just straddle that big rock. Don't take it too fast, otherwise we'll get flipped into the air. Same with this one. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. That is the mantra for SnowRunner. Oh, what a lovely morning. Nearly there, nearly there. Up here. Squeeze between these rocks. Carefully. And we see a little car in front of us. And this is another free vehicle. This is the key to this whole operation. Bam! Scout 800. Right. Let's transfer to the Scout 800. It's pretty much the same as the car we're in, but it's even more top heavy and flips over all the time, so we'll just recover that. We'll store it. We'll go to the storage. We'll sell it for 12,000. Now we can go to the truck store and buy any ANK Civilian. And there we are. Let's have a look at this thing. Apparently we've unlocked that engine already. This comes pre-unlocked. We didn't have to find an upgrade, and we didn't have to rank up to unlock this engine. Even though it's A plus power to weight already, but this can put it up to S. This will make it S plus, but it's only found in Alaska. It's got a good range of gearboxes. Again, Michigan, Wisconsin. I mean, Offroad is pretty much the best one. Can have a decent number of windshield suspension. It can have race suspension for bigger wheels. And this is the best thing. This comes with off-road wheels. 0.8 asphalt rating, who cares? Asphalt's not the main thing. 3.0 in dirt and 1.7 in mud. Now that is really, really damn good, and it comes with them fitted. As you see, we can't even unlock the all-terrain tyres until we're rank 6. We're rank 2 and we've got proper off-road tyres on this thing. Again, it can have lots of winches. It can carry a spare wheel, which unlocks at rank 13. And this is the limiting factor of this thing. Well, that, and it's very thirsty and only has a 200 litre fuel capacity. It can only have the van body add-on. We can't even fit that because we're not rank 4 yet. Or a fuel tank, or a fire tank that carries water. That's only for very specific tasks, and you won't be doing any of those in the starting regions. You will notice that the suspension changes because fuel weighs a lot. The van body does not. This is like the service trailer we found outside, but you can stick it on the back of your truck and take it with you. But luckily, all these are free, so we'll just put a saddle low on this thing. And you will notice on the right hand side, the all-wheel drive thing is greyed out, but it's greyed out in gold. Same with the diff lock. This truck has all-wheel drive on all the time and locked differential on all the time. Marry that with its off-road tyres and massive power to weight ratio, this thing is overpowered as all hell for the early game. So, trailer store, what we really want is this sideboard semi-trailer, which costs 6,800. We don't even have enough money for it. But that's fine, because there is a free one in town right here, but it's full of stuff. So I will meet you in town, and what I'm also going to do, I'm going to drive the Fleetstar up there, because as we know, we put a crane on the back of the Fleetstar, and I'll show you how to crane stuff. So I'll meet you there. Right, here we are. We've got both the trucks, so let's change over to the ANK. First thing we need to do is slowly reverse up to this. So the nipple and the third and the fifth wheel are fairly close. Attach the trailer. Now we need to get all this crap off the back of the trailer so we can use it for our own stuff. So unpack cargo. There we go, it's now unpacked. Now we can turn that engine off. We do not need to be using that truck anymore. So we'll change to the Fleetstar and I'll show you how to use the crane. Right, you want to park pretty close to the stuff you want to crane. Put your handbrake on, go to the options menu and do C for crane mode. Here's a little crane. First thing you want to do is press number 5, get your anchors out. There they go, little anchors. And you will notice there are a lot of controls for the crane. This takes quite some getting used to, okay? You're going to have to put the work in and just play around and you'll get good with it. WSAD, rotate the crane and move it in and out. R and F, move it up and down. And there's other things you can do as well. Again, it works like a winch. The big green radius is the radius at which we can winch things onto. So sometimes if your truck winch isn't quite long enough, you can extend your crane and pull yourself out with your crane. So that's another good thing. Right, just left click on something and it attaches it to the crane. Use C to winch it in towards the crane. Now, I don't really want to take this stuff with me. I just want to pile it on the ground. So just swing it over, extend the crane. You can either use V to slowly let it down and then detach with space, or you can just press space and drop it from a great height. It doesn't really matter. As I said, you're going to have to put the work in to get good with the crane. Now the thing you need to realise about the cranes in this game, they're really, really underpowered, because as I said, this is not a truck simulator. Again, we'll just press space and drop it, don't care. But similar to real world cranes, to increase the power you keep your boom short, so bring it in and that'll let you lift heavier things or move things at a greater distance. Okay, we'll just drop that there. Almost hit my truck, don't really care. Now these cargo things that we're dropping on the ground, they will be listed on the map and it will tell us what they are, so if we need them we can come back, probably with this truck, and crane them up and lift them back on with the crane. Okay, I'm just gonna dump that on the floor, just kind of there. Use Q and E to very, very slowly rotate the cargo clockwise and counterclockwise. It's very, very slow, but you can do that. That looks good enough. We'll just drop it there. And then open options menu again, restore the crane. And now we have a flatbed ready for use. Nice and simple. So what are we going to do with a newfound flatbed? So we'll have a look at the fallen power line task. What does that need? It needs 1 metal beam from the town, which is where we are, and 2 concrete blocks. Apparently there's a warehouse there that has concrete blocks, but we also know there's this trailer down here which has concrete blocks as well. And then we would do the mountain bridge, which also needs a metal beam and 2 concrete blocks. So there's 4 concrete blocks here, there's a metal beam on this flatbed here, but we're in town where we can get metal beams. So we're going to do that first. Okay, just before we go, because this video is very long already, I thought I would show you the difference between the Fleetstar and the ANK and to teach you about shortcuts. So, we are in the Fleetstar. We are right here, right next to the garage. Come out the garage, turn right. This is a notorious mud pit. But as you can see, there are some telegraph poles that we can winch onto. So let's turn all-wheel drive on with our highway tyres and see if our little Fleetstar can make it through here. I'm going to try and stick to the right hand side because it looks like it's a little bit drier here. Wheels are spinning, so let's go into low gear. We have diff locks available, so let's turn those on as well. And we're not moving. Even our zoom right in, even our turn left and turn right method isn't working. Okay, let's winch ourselves out. Winch onto this. Even in low gear with all-wheel drive and diff locks on and the winch, we're only barely moving. Okay, looks like we've hit one of these, yeah, See what I mean about these fallen trees? You hit them at the slightly wrong angle and they'll just stop you from progressing, and that's what's happened here. So we're going to have to back up if we can. There's nothing to winch onto here at the moment. That's not great. Okay, the tree has finally despawned. They do that sometimes. They just despawn themselves. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to attach the winch to the back of the truck, so the whole truck will get dragged forward like that. Oh, come on little truck, you can make it. Let's go into low gear, turn the diff locks on, give ourselves all the advantage we can. Are we stuck in another tree? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, we're stuck on this tree now. That's annoying. Looks like there's another tree there that we can winch onto, so we'll just... Okay. Now the tree we were stuck on has despawned. Yeah, these fallen trees can be good because you can winch onto them, but they're bad because they stop your progress. And the problem was, we were winching ourselves onto that and now it's despawned. We're not going to get any benefit from it. Okay, what are we stuck on now? The root ball of the next fallen tree. Okay. Diff lock on. Just about crawling forward with diff locks on and all-wheel drive. Come on, little truck, you can make it. And I think we are out, I want to say. Famous last words. Right, let's just winch ourselves onto one more fallen tree. Oh god. That was painful. Can we go into automatic mode now? Looks like we can. Okay, we made it through, but that was absolutely painful, and that was without carrying any weight, because weight does have effects on your performance. Right, let's recover this back to the garage. We'll do the same thing with the ANK. Right, let's go. Let's go ANK with massive power to weight and off-road wheels and always on, all-wheel drive and diff lock. I mean, that's why we buy it. That is why you buy this truck, because it can do shit like that. That is the difference. Instead of slogging your way through there, even in the ANK, just take a shortcut, man. SnowRunner is open world, and the roads are just suggestions. So if you actually come out of the garage this way, and come here, and just turn up past these trees, and turn your all-wheel drive on, and tackle this pretty steep hill, which I believe even the Fleetstar can do, even on its highway tyres. Which we are doing, because it's just dirt. On automatic, not even on low gear. Just power your way up here. Yes, we're empty, but it doesn't matter. And we are here. We are at the end of the mud pit. So instead of slogging your way all the way through here, just find this little shortcut and come up here. The game is full of shortcuts like this. In fact, you can find your own. So that's SnowRunner. That's how I like to start every game. You come up to the logging station, you get the truck that's here, you sell the truck that you find here, and you sell the truck that you find here, and you buy an ANK Civilian, and that lets you do pretty much anything you want. So let me know if you want to see more SnowRunner on this channel, and how much of it you want to see, because as I said, this is a game which will take you 1200 hours. So come back for whatever we're going to do next, and until then, do look after yourself, and I'll speak to you again very soon.